For more now, we are joined by Congressman Carlos Giménez, a Republican from Florida. Congressman, thank you so much for your time. You've applauded DOGE's efforts. Some of your Republican colleagues have received backlash, as you know, at town halls. I want to play what Georgia Republican Rich McCormick told our Rachel Scott today.
I think some of their actions have been too rapid to adapt to for real people. I mean, you're talking about Republicans, you're talking about just Democrats, talking about just...
Do you agree with your colleagues? Have some of DOGE's efforts been too rapid at the expense of real Americans losing their jobs?
Look, what I've said about DOGE is this, is that every bureaucracy needs to be looked at every once in a while. And yeah, you have to start doing some cuts. But I'll also agree with him that some of the way that this has been done could have been done better. I think I like an approach where you have people that have an outside perspective and look at things a little bit differently, tied also with people that are inside the government. That way you can make some of the changes that you want, and some of them may be radical in nature, but also the people that are inside the government can also tell you where the landmines are and the things that you shouldn't step on. And so, yeah, it hasn't been a perfect process, and I think it certainly has room for improvement, but I think that the overall intent is to reduce, waste, fraud, and abuse from the federal government, and they have found plenty of that.
Your office, of course, gets calls every day. What are voters in your diverse South Florida district saying about DOGE?
I don't think, most of the people that are calling my district office and my office here in Washington are actually from outside my district. And it looks like to be a coordinated effort by outside groups to try to influence, Congress people in their views. And I always find out how many people from my district are actually calling. And I can tell you that that number is rather small.
Today, the latest USDA outlook says that egg prices will increase 41% this year. We know the economy was so critical to voters in the November election. Here's what President Trump told NBC in December about the price of eggs.
When you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price over a short period of time. And I won an election based on that. We're going to bring those prices way down.
Is the Trump administration doing enough to get the price of this everyday staple down again?
Well, look, he's been, in office about a month. And so you really can't gauge the price of eggs right now, based on 1 month's worth of work. We also know that we've had a flu outbreak with chickens that have really affected the price of eggs. I mean, we've had fewer eggs, the price is going to go up. And so I would expect that the economic policies of the Trump administration are going to reduce inflation, because one of the big factors on inflation has been energy prices. And everybody knows that he wants to utilize America's natural resources to bring energy prices down, not only make America energy independent, but make it energy dominant, which again will help the bottom line and help to reduce prices, across the board.
You're on the House Homeland Security Committee. The FBI, of course, is in charge of protecting the U.S. from foreign threats. How do you square the FBI letting go of some new agents with the department's serious mandate to protect our country from terror attacks and beyond?
Well, I think if those agents were actually those that were part of a politicized process, and we in the Republican Party, many Americans feel that the FBI was politicized, and so the agency needs to be depoliticized. It shouldn't matter who you are or what party you're from. It matters what you do in order for the FBI to conduct investigations, et cetera, bring charges, against an individual. For too long, this agency, I think, has been politicized. Not the rank and file members of the FBI, but some of the upper echelon, I think, has been politicized. I think there's a new sheriff in town. He wants to depoliticize the FBI, and so I'm going to give him the reins. The president is, and I think Congress is going to give him, the space to reinvent the FBI to what it used to be, so that we can have confidence again in what they do.
So there's no aspect of you that's concerned at all about America's safety, while there are fewer officers at this point?
I believe, again, that we have a lot of law enforcement officers in the country. It has to be done. It has to be depoliticized. A lot of Americans have lost confidence in the FBI. We need to restore that confidence, and so we need to give the new director the leeway in order to reorganize and reconstitute the FBI in the way that we have traditionally felt about the FBI, nonpartisan, non-political, and you know, justice needs to be blind.
Congressman Carlos Giménez, we thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Okay, it's my pleasure.